Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. We'll make sure everybody can hear us. This is our new Shibboleth jam session time. We have moved it from 11 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. so that we can pack more into one day. Tammy and Joni will be helping me out today. I thank God for them every day. Hello, everybody. Hey, Patricia. Hey, and who's having a happy juice with me this morning? It's been a while. I come off these things a little bit. Now I'm back on them, and I love my happy juice. Cheers, everybody. It was good. It was hard coming off of it. That was 3 days of torture, but I'm back today. Happy day. Happy juice make me happy. Hey, everybody. Stephanie, good to have you. I don't blame you a bit, Stephanie. Stephanie says, I'm taking a break from Facebook. So just put us on your calendar and make sure you come and join us in the Zoom room. If my assistants can see Sally Clock still not getting a text. Sally, let me see if Joni's with me today. Joni is with me. Joni, can you work with Sally and see if y'all can figure out between you why she's not getting text? It may be nothing we can do because it's a third-party service, but we'll try. Happy juice is okay on a line day, Charles, unless you're doing a line day to discover what might be causing you some gastrointestinal distress. If you're using the line and sharp days as a food elimination protocol, then you don't want to have happy juice. You don't want to have anything but tier 1. If you're doing line and sharp days so that you can eat some real bacon and you're not trying to have a line or sharp day to discover plant-based foods that might be causing autoimmune disorders or whatnot, you can have happy juice. Happy juice is very, very powerful, though. You're talking about more than 50 amazing and powerful plant alkaloids that could cause some people some intestinal distress or some inflammatory responses. So you want to be careful with plant foods, and the more powerful they are, it's more probable that causes some people a problem that they've not yet identified. If you're just doing it to lose weight and want to eat some bacon, then yeah, you're fine with that. Yeah, those line and sharp days are pretty amazing. We're going to get this started, everybody. We are live on Facebook and here in the Zoom room. This is our new hour. Our hour of connection, our Shibboleth Jam session. Now, we're going to be doing things a little bit different. It's going to give me more time to do Q&A on the back end. I'm going to try to come with more fast track and beginner type lessons since we're starting a little earlier, because we've got a good mix of people here from the beginner to the more experienced. So we're going to try to cater to both. If you're an experienced member, then, I understand you may not want to stay for the whole thing. You may want to wait on those Shibboleth Journey classes later in the year. But hey, we always learn something in here together, don't you? I don't know that there's a such thing as a beginner nutrition. It's just nutrition. We're learning a new lifestyle together. Diets don't work. The first 3 letters of the word diet spell die. Anything you start with and can't stick with for the rest of your life is a waste of your time. I guess here's a good time for me to introduce myself to the new folks. I'm Travis. I've lost over 100 pounds with the Shibboleth lifestyle. I've kept all that off. I've come off multiple prescription medications. Programs changed my life. The last thing that I thought that I would be doing for the last 20 years of my life is teaching wellness and weight loss and behavior modification. I started doing free grocery tours in my community almost 20 years ago. I did those for free for 3 years, and here I am today, 20 years later, still teaching, still trying to support and help. You're not a customer here. You're a family member. We are family. We're like-minded people, self-discovering, trying to lose weight, keep it off. Y'all, this is as much a personal development program as it is a weight loss program. We're in this together. If you're new, confused, just getting started, just trust the process. Let us take you by the hand and help you. Now, you've got to have a willing and wanting heart. If you don't have a willing and wanting heart and don't want to change, you're just here because somebody's told you you need to change, it's not going to work. You got to want this from the inside. You got to want to fulfill your highest and best potential in the Lord. And if you do that, man, we're going to have a great journey here together. We're going to pick each other up. We're going to get to our happy weight. We're going to get to that happy weight, that ideal weight range, right? Then we're going to lock it down and rip off the knob. It all starts with earning your fast track badge. Please make sure that you earn your fast track badge. Nothing good happens long term without the fast track badge. In fact, when I'm answering questions here in this session, we have new folks that haven't been through fast track, and they think they're drinking water from a fire hydrant. They're like, I'm so confused. Well, it's because you haven't went through fast track. When I start talking about why we can have chicken breast with a potato but can't have steak with a potato, category 1, 2, and 3, but you have to have a category 4 and 2 without a 3. You can go, I can't do this. It's too hard. When in fact, it's easy. I teach children this stuff. Sometimes I find that children are easier to teach than the adults. So it's not hard. It's just different. And if you go through fast track, you're going to be successful. Let me point you to that real quick. It's very important that you do things the right way. A thing that begins right will end right. Amen. Thing that begins right will end right. So we want you to log into the website, click your dashboard. This is your dashboard right down here. Once you log in, click dashboard, you have all these different dashboards. These are different programs within Shibboleth. And with each program, you open up more variety, but we start with fast track. You'll see that we've laid this out perfectly. You have 7 laps. When you go through the 7 laps and each criteria, by the end of that and watching the videos, they're short videos. I got an email this week and said, Travis, I'm not going to watch a video. I heard about your program. I signed up because it was cheap and I need your help, but I'm not watching videos. I want to do one-on-ones. Well, we do that too. We have great mentors that will help you and guide you. But I'm telling you, it's not that hard to go through these videos, to go through these laps, check them off. It looks a little daunting, but it's not. You can literally get through these laps and the videos in probably less than 3 hours over the course of this week. And then when you earn your fast track badge, boom, you are on your way, sister. You're on your way to the success that you've been longing for so long, okay? All right, make sure that you ask your question in the Q&A section so that I can get them answered for you. We don't want a single member to be sitting here not knowing what to do. We want every member to know how to break through the perceived plateaus. We want you to know how to get help. We want you to know about the recipes, about the weight loss meter. So whatever might be holding you back, this is our Q&A session. Let's get your questions answered. Don't be shy either. I don't bite. I might have fun with you and we might laugh with one another, but I don't bite. All right, let's get started. How do I put my own song in the vision board? Oh, good question. There are a few songs. Let me say, y'all, for Michelle. How do I say this so that everybody gets a benefit? We have a vision tracker in the journal. I created this many years ago for myself. And what I do is I tend to lose my motivation. I'm getting better about being disciplined, but with all those old bad habits, sometimes I would struggle. And part of my struggle I noticed in my journal was FOMO. Is anybody you ever deal with FOMO, fear of missing out? I mean, I would be at the Mexican restaurant with friends and family, and they start eating those chips, and I'd break out in a cold sweat. You'd think that I'm never going to get to eat a chip with these folks again. I might die before I ever make it out to the Mexican restaurant again. So I just got to do it one more time. I could be having progress, doing great, but if I forgot to bring in my Shibboleth approved chips and they're eating and I can't eat it, it drives me crazy. And then they become the diet devils too. And I would literally, it'd be just terrible. It was like torture. I would lose sight of my goals and I get fixated on deep fried flour. That's all a chip is, y'all, is deep fried flour. It doesn't have any flavor. It takes on the flavor of what you pair it with, but itself, it don't have any flavor. You know, it's just deep fried flour. It causes the fat bus to come, and the fat bus grabs the fat and shuttles it into your fat cells. Boom. But, you know, in that moment of heat and FOMO, fear of missing out, I would engage. And I noticed a pattern in my journal. So one of the things I did, I come up with a vision tracker where I put in the pictures of the old Travis, right? The 300-pound Travis. Those are my painful parts of my painful why. And then I had the pleasurable why. I had the picture of the beach. Like y'all can't understand unless you're like some of us who had a lot of weight to lose. When you had the opportunity to go to the beach, I didn't want to go to the beach because I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. You know, I didn't want to take my shirt off. Sure didn't. But it just wasn't comfortable for me physically, emotionally. So I put pictures of the beach, you know, because I want to remind myself when I go to our summer vacation, I want to feel good, look good. I would put pictures of the body type that I wanted. For years before I developed my six-pack, for years I would say, y'all, some of y'all been around that long, I'd say, I want them Brad Pitt abs. I want them, the abs he had in Thelma and Louise. Y'all got to remember, when I started this, I was a lot younger. And I would say, how many of you want to look good naked? Raise your hand. If you'll lie about that, you'll lie about other things too, right? So I would cut up. So I put all that in a visual format, digital. And then anytime we were going out to eat, I would play. It would be a slide presentation, and I had my Eye of the Tiger music. I had all my good music playing, and I would for about 2 or 3 minutes before eating, I would shake myself. Y'all ever read in the Bible where it said Samson, the Philistines would be upon Samson, and he would shake himself, and the power would come back to him. So my visual digital board that plays for me is it's like Samson shaking himself, reminding that my goals, my delayed gratification really trumps instant gratification, right? Those chips ain't got nothing on my goals, but I have to look at the chips and then look at my goals, because if I'm just looking at the chips, I want the chips. So what Michelle's talking about here is that vision board and tracker, and it's on my phone. Right before I go eat, I can press play, and it shows me all my slides, my painful why, reminding me of what I never want to go back to, my pleasurable why, and it's playing music. So Michelle's saying, how can I put my own song in it? You can't. So what we found out the hard way is that there are copyright laws. So there's only a few songs in there. When we have the money, we'll license more songs. But right now, we can't do it because of the privacy laws. Sorry about that. That was a long explanation, wasn't it? But if you think about it, because due to privacy laws, we'd have to pay, it was tens of thousands of dollars to license more songs, and can't do it. So I hope y'all enjoy Katy Perry. She's in there. There's a couple of more in there that's fair use, but I hope you enjoy them. There's a couple that's okay. Sally, sweet potato and a white potato are both category 3. You had said before, I think, that sweet potato was a better choice, but I can't remember why. A sweet potato has much more nutrition in it, and it's lower glycemic. So from a micronutrition standpoint, a sweet potato really trumps a white potato. It just has a lot more vitamins in it. It's just better for you overall. The skin of it's better for you overall, but it's also lower glycemic, which means less fat bus. You know, so when we're trying to lose weight, the less insulin. Let's do a quick refresher that you find in Fast Track. Insulin causes these 4 things to take place. Nothing you can do about it. Drives your appetite through the roof. You store fat that you consume because insulin is a fat storage hormone. It's also a growth hormone. So you stop your efficient fat burning process, and insulin destroys your mitochondria. So there's a lot going on there when we spike blood sugar, because our pancreas releases the right dose of insulin to combat that. So you got to be really careful. The more times that you can control that insulin load, the better results you're going to get on our program. White potatoes are allowed, but they're not as good as a sweet potato if you're trying to be optimal. And you want to make sure that you have a 1 and 2 with it. A sweet potato by itself, if your goal, it's all about your situation and goals. If your goal is to lose weight, now your goal may be to put on muscle. You can't put on muscle and lose fat at the same time. That's another myth. It is impossible. Putting on more weight, more even good weight like muscle, requires a calorie surplus. Removing body fat takes a calorie deficit. You cannot lose fat. I know they all say it. It's biologically not possible. You can reconstitute old muscle, but you can't build new muscle if you are in a calorie deficit. You're not getting enough raw material to build the muscle. Most everybody here, your goal is to preserve your lean tissue while cutting the fat, get rid of the fat. So we want to make sure that we are monitoring our insulin load so that we can efficiently burn through fat. Because if you're not, you're going to put it on like there's no tomorrow. Insulin is a supercharged. It's good for you if you're trying to gain weight, but most of you ain't trying to gain weight. So control it with food combinations. If I eat a sweet potato by itself, I'm getting the fat bust coming. The only time I'd want to do something like that is if I've met my fat loss goals, my body fat percentage is minimized, and now I'm looking to put on muscle. Then I could start eating some carbohydrate and fruit by itself. But you want to pair it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb if you're trying to lose weight. How much water per day? Just stick to the program unless your doctor tells you otherwise. I'm not a doctor. Some people here have underlying heart issues, and you have to really manage your water intake the right way. But otherwise, if you're healthy, a half a gallon's minimal up to a full gallon. All this is covered in Fast Track 2. So when you watch those, this will be refortified in your mind. A half a gallon is minimal up to 1 gallon. Now, we have people ask, can I have more than a gallon? Of course. We just don't want you guzzling water, especially after you've been out exercising or something. That can get you in, that can cause heart arrhythmias. So be really careful about guzzling water when you're depleted and you're really hot. Half a gallon up to a gallon of water is going to be sufficient. Melanie says, don't ever give up. It took me a long time before the lifestyle sunk in. I'd start and then stop. Multiple times I never slipped too much. I just didn't commit 100%. Now I'm all in. I love it. We're glad you're all in, Melanie. Good job. This is your year. All right, let's keep going for those questions. Any other questions? Let's keep this thing moving. Cheers to those of y'all just coming in. We got 104 people strong and a few people on Facebook. I'm drinking some happy juice. I come off of it like y'all are supposed to do so we don't build up a tolerance. And boy, it feels good today. Charles asked me this morning, he said, are you roaring like a lion? I said, more like a kitty cat. So I went and got me a happy juice. And now I'm feeling more like a lion. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root and the offspring of David, and he hath prevailed. My Jesus, my Jesus. Ain't God good, y'all? Provides these powerful animal foods and plant foods for us to thrive off of. Any other questions? Let's keep it rolling. Any questions about Fast Track? Any questions about anything? What are you struggling with mentally? This is our Q&A session. This is my way of supporting you. Now, if you prefer one-on-one support, book a one-on-one appointment, and the team will help you with that too. Some people just do better in one-on-one settings. Some people like me do better in group settings. But whatever it is, we've figured it out. We've cracked the code and found the solution to adult and childhood obesity. And guess what? Like everything else, we found it in Jesus. If we'd stop reading the Bible all literal, like, don't throw stones at me, and realize that it's full of beautiful spiritual and figurative dialogue, and that we can trust it. You know, it's like they thought the world was flat. For ages, they thought that the earth was flat. They're bringing that notion back, by the way. But anyway, they thought the world was flat. If they would just read the book of Job, they would have understood that the earth is round, because Job said in the book of Job, it says that the earth is a sphere. I mean, just round. So, the Bible's always got it right. And the Bible's been telling us we can indulge in food. I don't like to hear anybody when they say I can't have something, they want to take my liberties from me. I've got people that send me straight to hell over me having a glass of wine on date night with my wife. And they say, how dare you talk about the Bible and you'll have a glass of wine on date night. I don't know about y'all, but my Bible tells me not to become enslaved to anything. And in fact, I won't even be a stumbling block to my brother. I won't do it in front of my brother who's against it. It ain't important enough to me to do that. So it's, in the privacy of my home or with my wife on date night, I might have me 5 ounces of me some Pinot Grigio and enjoy my wife, my bride, and her enjoying me. But I'm not enslaved by it. Now, if you become enslaved by it, that's another thing. Then we got to pray for one another and not judge one another and break that addiction. So, life is about liberties. And I said all that to say it's okay to have a feast. It's okay on a Saturday night for you to have a feast and just eat whatever you want to eat. Have a good time. Work hard, play hard. That's what I say. Work, 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 and play a little bit. That is the season and spice of life. But you're not supposed to have a lifestyle of gluttony. That's the problem. It's the lifestyle of gluttony. I've been on and off for so long, finally feel like I found my mojo, Donna says. Over 30 perfect days. All right now, Donna, you can't get away with that last comment. But weight loss is slow. Ain't no such thing as slow weight loss. Ain't no such thing. I talk about this all the time. Listen, people say if they lose a pound a week, that's slow. We do better than that around here if you follow the program. Not letting you off the hook, Donna. If you gained a pound a week for 52 weeks, you would have put on 52 pounds of fat. And most reasonable people would say in a year, if they put on 52 pounds of fat, that they put it on so fast. Now, when people lose 1 pound of fat, what do? When they lose 1 pound of fat a week, they would be losing 52 pounds of fat in a year. But when they lose 1 pound of fat in a week, they go, it's so slow. That can't be true. We all crazy. I'm crazy. Y'all crazy. We all crazy. Stop the madness. If gaining a pound a week for a year is fast, then losing a pound a week for a year is fast. Come on now. Our people, if they follow the program, are going to lose 10% of their weight in their first month or better, and they're going to lose 1% a week thereafter. Donna, I bet you're doing that. Now, there are those situations where there's been some mistranslation of the information, my fault or whatever. That's when you get that one-on-one and say, I'm having 6 perfect days a week, and I'm not losing a pound a week. I'm not losing 1% of my body weight a week. And then we can look at it and go, oh, let's do this and get you going again. But never, ever, y'all, say to yourself, my weight loss is slow. Because, listen, y'all, ding, 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 my bell's missing. Ding, 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 listen. How many of you, be honest, if you do the self-talk and you're saying in your own mind, this is so hard and this is so slow, what is the likelihood that you give up this year if you're telling yourself that? Right, April, almost 100%. It's for sure. We always lie to ourselves because we're crazy. I'd rather lie to myself in a good way. Everybody repeat this with me. Y'all ready? Little exercise. You can do it in your head or you can do it out loud. Losing weight is easy. Some of y'all do that with me. I guarantee you that you'll feel better. I guarantee you cannot not feel better if you'll do that. Losing weight is easy. Do it with the S-A-Y. Easy. It feels so good. Y'all give it a try. Give it a try real quick. Travis, that's not true. Well, it's more true than it's hard. How is eating? Look, good gracious, y'all. You can get up in the morning and have a delicious approved bowl of cereal. You could get up in the morning and have a delicious egg white and spinach omelet. You could get up in the morning and have some delicious pancakes. For lunch, you could go to Wendy's and get you a delicious bowl of Wendy's chili, or go to Chick-fil-A for lunch and get you some delicious chicken nuggets. You could bring you an approved sandwich to lunch. There's so many things. And then for dinner, you could have some unstuffed cabbage rolls, or some to die for roast, or some Travis's spaghetti recipe. You've got all that. Now, what's hard about that? What's hard about that? And lose weight. That's easy. If we think that's hard, boy, our mamas and daddies raised us wrong. Eating delicious foods and losing weight is hard. Are you kidding me? It's about focus. Travis, if losing weight is so easy, why ain't everybody doing it? Because it's easy not to. It's also easy not to. But it's all easy. So you got to say this. Losing weight is easy and it's fun. This is the most fun weight loss, by the way, everybody. Talk to yourself right. How many of y'all know, can I just get a quick amen? How many of you know that most of our success will be found right in here? How many of you know that to be true? You know the program works. You know it works. After I have a holiday, how many days does it take to get back into EFB? Worst case scenario, 2 perfect days. Because what's happening is we're burning through that glycogen retained in our muscles. And until we burn through that glycogen, we can't efficiently burn body fat. So I always treat it like 2 days, even though I know how to get back in it in 1 day. Today, I'll get back in EFB by tomorrow. Yesterday was a holiday for me. But today, I'm doing my training wheel fast, and I'm going to do a lot of walking and sweating. So I will be back in EFB by the end of the day, but I treat it like it takes 2 days. Hey, Eric, I would like to invite some friends to Shibboleth, but I know you aren't taking new members. I'd like to invite folks how best to do this. This week, we are releasing it. It may even be today. My team's working on it so that we can open enrollment again. But this week, I don't think by any later than tomorrow. If you got somebody who wants to sign up today, send us an email, info@myshibboleth.com, and we'll force it in. But I think everybody's going to be real excited by the new Shibboleth. We're about to roll out the new Shibboleth. Shibboleth, we should call it Shibboleth Reloaded. So that's coming out this week. Thanks for sharing Shibboleth. If my Rimfo app and the website measurements show me as having 2 different body fat percentages, which one should I take as correct? That's tough. Neither are 100% accurate. The only way to get an accurate body fat percentage is hydrostatic water weighing. That's the only way. The next best way is a set of calipers where I pinch you in 9 spots. And I quit pinching women like 15 years ago. No, Travis ain't doing that. He's not falling for that one. Nope. So not that you're asking, I'm just telling you the best ways to figure out your body fat percentage. Rimfo is good. The measurements online is good. If you don't have a Rimfo scale, use the one online. I'd say if you have a Rimfo scale, probably go by that. Both are going to have about a 5% margin of error, but that doesn't matter because it's about watching the trend. Are you trending up or are you trending down? So I'd probably go with Rimfo since you have a Rimfo scale. On a line day, can you have tuna and a boiled egg? Yes, both of those are tier 1 foods and a part of line and shark days. Melida, you said something about plant-based foods. Is it good to eat? I've been eating some and just want to know if it's good for me. Example, turkey plant-based and regular turkey sausage. Okay, so any protocol, please listen. Any protocol that you utilize to lose body fat is okay by me. How about that? Now there's good, better, and best. So I haven't answered your question yet. I'm gonna finish Nalida's question. Tammy, don't delete it yet. There's a lot to unpack with Nalida. Excess fat is enemy number one. Does everybody understand that? If you're hooked on Diet Mountain Dew, is that optimal to drink Diet Mountain Dew every day? Is that optimal for your health and wellness to drink Diet Mountain Dew? It is not. But if I tell you you can only have water and you can't have any other beverage, what is the likelihood that you might quit that protocol? It's very high, isn't it? So my philosophy is, let's stop the bleeding. The first thing that we have to do before we address all this other stuff is lose the excess fat. So if you're following Shibboleth approved vegan foods and you're following the Shield, you're getting rid of excess fat, even if you're eating turkey, plant-based food, the fake meat stuff. But now please listen. They are horrible for you long term. Now, if you're a vegan and you want to use them to be void replacements for meat, my question would be, why don't you just eat meat? Look, the true vegan, there's nothing wrong with the vegan approach. I actually love it. If you don't have autoimmune issues due to plant foods, because they're powerful. Plant foods are very powerful. I have no problem with vegans who get their intake and they espouse the benefits and the wellness benefits. If they're getting their food intake from organic vegetables that grow from the ground, organic fruits, combined the right way, you still have to control insulin. You still must control insulin if you're going to efficiently lose fat, but we can do that with plant-based foods. We have a plethora of approved, delicious, healthy plant-based foods that grow from the ground, minimally processed. If you're eating hemp hearts and hemp flakes and pintos and lentils, I'm all for it. But those fake meats, do them very sparingly. They're not good for you. The only reason, in my opinion, someone should be a vegan would be that they have a religious aversion to eating meat, or their heart dictates to them that it's not right to eat animal products. If the argument is that being a vegan is healthier than being a well-balanced eater, that would be incorrect. But if you're doing it for personal reasons, let's support you. But even though they're in our library, be very sparing with those fake meats, like the Impossible Burger. Those things, they're just as bad as having aspartame and sucralose. If it's got more protein than net carbs, we can make it work for our vegan populace here on planet Shibboleth. We're a diverse group, but it's not the best thing to do to eat those fake, that's what they are, fake meats. They're not plants. There's some plants in there, but they're processed with starch and typically a lot of plant fats. Plant-based fats are horrible for the human body. If you'd like to unpack that some more, Nalida, let me know. But now, if what you're doing, you're having those and you're operating in a calorie deficit and you're controlling insulin, you're attacking enemy number one successfully, which is getting rid of excess fat. How can you make your own ice cream with home ingredients or a milkshake with skim milk and ice? You can't. Skim milk's horrible for you. High sugar. You could use the Shibboleth mix. There's an ice cream mix that doesn't sound like you want to use. Shibboleth has a mix, it's a yogurt mix that tastes like homemade ice cream when mixed with water or approved milk. But if you're not wanting to do that, I'd probably have to get you to go look up some ice cream recipes, send them to us if they look like something you'd want to try, and I'll give you some void replacements for those ingredients. I hope that makes sense. I haven't made homemade ice cream except for with our Shibboleth mix powder. So you're wanting to use skim milk, it's most likely going to be a terrible idea, okay? Skim milk's high in sugar. Donna, lost 8.6 pounds in 1 week. but 1 week didn't lose anything. I enjoy it. I try to be more strict. Even tried hemp flakes for the first time. Hang in there, Don. It might be time to get that appointment and let somebody review your journal. If you're journaling, we can look at that and pretty quickly figure out why you're not losing, okay? How do I get rid of my Sugar Britches badge? I did over 100 reps and walked over 5,000 steps, and it still shows the Sugar Britches. So if you marked, let me show you how that works. So we have some fun, right? We don't just call anybody a Sugar Britches, right? So it's fun. And the reason we're having fun with you, you've earned it. I've earned some myself, and they're there. Now, if it's something really that bothers you, reach out to the team and say, please get rid of that Sugar Britches badge. I would say don't. I would say don't. Be like me. Be reminded that you're human. I have Sugar Britches badges too. But the problem here is you marked, if there's a glitch, let somebody know, but you marked that you wanted to do an exercise challenge. Okay? So you saved it. You saved it. When you save that, then you have entered a daily challenge that includes exercise. In other words, you have said after consideration that you're declaring this day, you will go for one of these badges. A soldier badge, a Spartan badge, or a savage badge. You declared it. You said you would do it. And if you don't do what you said you would do, then you will get a Sugar Britches badge. So, in order to get a soldier badge, you must have a perfect day. You must log in 100 exercise repetitions, and you must get 3 miles of walking. That's the minimum. So somehow that didn't get logged in. Okay? So let's go back and look, or get Joni to look with you and figure out which one of those criteria on that day that you didn't meet, and fix it. And then that badge would go away and you would get the correct badge. You need at least 100 exercise repetitions logged in. See, if you don't log it, everybody, I don't know it. You have to log it. You have to mark that you had a perfect day. If you had a holiday or you didn't mark what type of day, it doesn't count. Exercise without proper nutrition doesn't do a lot of good. Does that make sense, everyone, how to do that, how to navigate that? But if you feel like that it's treating you wrong, let Joni help you get it right, okay? I lost 18 pounds very fast over the last month and now hit a plateau. Do you have any suggestions? I doubt that you hit a plateau. So when you lose 18 pounds in a month, you can't say after a couple of weeks into the new month that you hit a plateau. Here's what we're looking for. Did you lose 1% of your body weight, Amanda, per week? After you lost the 18, over a 7-day period, did you lose 1% of your body weight? Because that's really good. You can't keep losing 18 pounds a month. Not going to happen unless you're really large. They got a lot of body mass. No shame in that. We're addressing it. 18 pounds is significant weight loss over the course of a month. Significant. You're on pace to lose 200 pounds in a year. Now, when you say you hit a plateau, can you tell me how many days you've hit this plateau? How many days has it been with no weight loss? And how many holidays you've had over the last 7 days? And are you journaling? If you tell me those things, we can address this and get you to move. And you did the right thing by bringing it up. Anything that's a cog in your mental wheel, you need to bring up so that we can find an answer that gets you moving forward again. Because if you feel, whether true or perceived, perception's reality, if you feel that you've hit a plateau, then you're probably going to give up if that plateau continues. And we don't want you to give up. So, Amanda, let's address those points. And then I'll be looking. Oh, I see you over here. I've been stuck up and down, same 2 pounds all week, one holiday. So, are you journaling, Amanda? Would you like me to look at your journal in front of everybody, or would you rather get a one-on-one appointment? I can look at it in front of everybody as a coaching situation for everybody, because you've done great. 18, y'all all agree Amanda's done great, 18 pounds in a month. Okay, so I'm gonna look up, are y'all okay? Because this isn't my class and Amanda's class. This is a family class. Are y'all okay with me pulling her journal up and let's go through it together? All right, that's what I'm gonna do. Bear with me. Little awkwardness here. While awkward silence. How many of y'all are excited and happy today? I'm looking for Amanda's journal. Thank you for your patience. Amanda Main. Amanda, have you earned your fast track badge? Awesome, awesome. So I'm going here now, and we're going to take a look. I should be in Amanda's account. We're going to go to her weekly timing chart. All right, I'm going to look. First of all, let me look at your progress. I love your weekly timing chart's looking good. Beautiful young lady, down 18.5 pounds for the year. Average motivation level is 8.9. We can work on our walking. Amanda, that would get some things going. Do you have any time that you could put into brisk walking? Maybe put on some good music or the Bible and give me some walking. Would you do that? Oh, you did. Okay, steps, total steps. That's pretty good. 41. Well, it's not a lot, but we could do better with the steps. If I could get you to thinking about, I know it would seem like an effort, but it's good self-care time. 100,000 steps a week, just that is going to start blowtorching that fat with you following the program. All right, now let's take a look at, let's go to Monday. Let's look at the 20th. This is about the time of the plateau. Pull up the chat so we can talk about this. Okay, meal number 1, nuts and more. It's a great peanut butter for those of you that don't know, high protein, sugar-free raspberry jelly on 5-seed smart carb bread. Is the smart carb, if I don't eat it, I don't remember it. Is smart carb bread in the library, Amanda? Nuts and more chocolate chip cookie dough, sugar-free grape jelly was your second meal. 2 slices of smart carb 5-seed. Is that in, can somebody, it's in the library, what weight loss meter is that? Could y'all look and let me know? So it looks like you had 2 peanut butter sandwiches. Now, everybody, did she have a perfect day having 2 peanut butter sandwiches on that approved bread? She did. She's in a fantastic calorie deficit here. She got in all of her macronutrients, but she didn't get much of one particular macronutrient that we need to be on the lookout in subsequent days. Beautiful, perfect day. Which macronutrient is lacking in this here? That's right, protein. Protein stimulates metabolism. So let's keep an eye on this as we go forward in her journal. Smart carb bread, good, Tammy. Thank you, is a -3. Tammy, could you do something for me? I just had a thought. Would you look at the Health Shibboleth form and let me know if there's a place for comments in it? Would you do that? I have an idea today. if there's a place for comments in the Help Shibboleth. Just need to know if there's a place for a client to leave any comments. All right, her next day. Boar's head turkey breast, I like it. With her tortilla, I like it. It's helpshibboleth.com, Tammy. www.helpshibboleth.com. She had a boar's head turkey turkey wrap for lunch. So she had 2 meals again. I like this day better. I like this day better. Are y'all ready though? Now, please understand, Amanda, please understand the things that I'm saying. If I say you had a perfect day, you had a perfect day. So the suggestions I give are for optimization. Are you with me? Because a lot of times when I say something, they'll go, oh, I thought I did good. And you did do good. But I'm noticing after 2 days a trend. Does anybody else see the trend? Something we may be getting too much of? That's right, everybody, the bread. So far, we're talking about multiple wraps and multiple bread scenarios. That's not bad, but we're going to watch for the trend. Have y'all ever heard me say in class that we only approve bread to make the program more practical and sustainable? We don't put bread on the program to help aid weight loss. Some of your best days will be days that you did not lose or gain. Please adopt that mentality. Some days, when you have the right bread as opposed to the wrong bread and you don't gain weight, you might not lose much, but you don't gain, that's a victory. This is all mathematics. It's looking at our weekly timing chart and seeing the amount of time we spent in efficient fat burning mode. Sometimes punting, if y'all watch football, some ladies love football, some don't. But punting the ball is not a bad thing. We don't want to lose ground. So that's why we have approved pasta, approved bread. For those times that you really want those, instead of eating a bread that's going to spike insulin, we're eating a bread and wrap that doesn't. So you're doing good. This is good so far. Let's just watch for the trend. Halo Top ice cream, Halo Top ice cream. She did a challenge. She's killing it. She's doing a challenge, but she only had Halo Top. What throughout the week so far, what macronutrient is she void of? Protein. Very little protein. After 3 days, she's gotten in less than adequate amounts of protein. We don't have to be perfect every day. What we're looking for is adequate protein throughout the week. You have those days. Why would we have a day where she could just have Halo Top? She's feeling like she wanted some ice cream. That's why I love Shibboleth. You know, one of my favorite things, Amanda, is if I've been craving ice cream, to have Halo Top chocolate chip with a tablespoon of nuts and more peanut butter. Rather than have Mayfield Moose Tracks, I'm having an approved version that's just as good that won't cause me to gain weight. And that's what I'm seeing for this week. It's a lot of you're in a big calorie deficit, but it's coming at a cost because we're not getting enough protein. The next day, did you only have 1 meal or did you forget to put an entry in here? Yeah, Amanda, if you'll spend 3 days on the red column meals without bread, you'll do really well. Okay, she forgot to enter a meal here. So I don't know what she had, but she had a grilled cheese. But y'all see the trend? Does everybody see that trend? More bread. Don't be afraid of bread. In fact, you should salute yourself. You was feeling the bread and you did it and you didn't gain. Most people that eat bread gain. Here we had a holiday. She had red lights, so we had a holiday. Now, once we have a holiday and we're allowed holidays, how many days does it take us to get back into EFB? Two days. All right, here we've got a perfect day. Did you only have one meal here, or did you forget to enter some stuff, Amanda? She had Domino's Philly cheesesteak pizza on thin crust. Her portion looks fantastic. She only ate one meal. Again, do y'all see a trend here? It was approved. She got in some great, let's look at the good and the bad. She had good fasting time. Those of you that are new, you don't have to eat one meal or two meals. You can have 3 meals and a snack. Okay, this was her choice. She had more bread. So would y'all agree that her Shibboleth approved diet is becoming very bread centric? Would y'all agree with that way of explaining it? Now, under normal circumstances, this is what I think's beautiful about Shibboleth. You can have anything. You become the master. If she had eaten regular pizza dough, if she had eaten regular sunbeam bread, would she have gained weight? Yep. So this is a huge victory. Now look at this day. If this is what she had, egg whites and bacon, if the portion was right, and unstuffed cabbage recipe, would y'all agree with me this has been her best day so far? If her portion was controlled. She ate real food for a change. I do hope that she monitored her bacon, because bacon's high calorie, but if she used the right portion, great meal. Unstuffed cabbage recipes, fantastic. Great day there. And then we have today. Nothing entered yet. Does that help you some, Amanda? Now, what we want you to do is now pick up the exercise and activity too. Start with, I challenge you for 3 days to break through this plateau. No bread, red column meals just for 3 days. And I double dog dare you over those 3 days on the honor system, no bread, real food from the red column, and 10,000 steps a day just for 3 days, and watch what happens. Now, somebody said, bread makes me gain weight. I want y'all to repeat something after me. There's no food that causes you to gain or lose weight by itself. There's no such thing. You can eat delicious, great, healthy foods and eat a surplus and gain weight. You can eat terrible, disgusting processed foods and lose weight. Bread does not make you gain weight. A surplus of bread makes. So, Travis, why when I eat bread or potatoes do I gain weight? You didn't gain fat unless you was in a calorie surplus and spiked insulin. Does everybody hear that? So why did I gain? This, if you haven't had any bread for a while and then you have bread, even approved bread, the carbohydrate latches on to water and you temporarily store water. And water, 1 gallon of water is more than 8 pounds. So if you're just having a little water retention after your carbohydrate, even if you did everything right, you'll have a temporal weight gain, but that'll come right back off. The magic, y'all have got to start trusting this. Quit program hopping. Stop straddling the fence. You've got 1 foot in your old lifestyle, 1 foot in your new lifestyle. Can't do it. This program's put together to be practical, sustainable, and fun. And the magic happens right here in her chart. In the course of a month, she had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days of efficient fat burning. Fantastic effort. No wonder she's lost 18 pounds. She's killing it. She had holidays. See this little guy? He's just taking his super suit off. She had a 1, 2, 3, 4 holidays which were allowed. And then after a holiday, she has to have some type of Shibboleth perfect day for 2 days, and then she's back into EFB. This is what counts. Not if you eat a piece of approved bread and then go get on the scales and your weight goes up, it's so easy to say bread made me gain weight. You haven't gained fat. The only way you gain fat, you got to watch that weekly timing chart. The scales lie to you. They lie profusely if you look at them daily. They even lie if you look at them over the course of a week. Now, the scales don't lie if you look at them month over month. They never lie. We can see your real effort if we're comparing February 1st to March 1st. But if you're just looking at them after every meal, you're going to be misled. That's why if we're not lying and we're being honest in our journal, that weekly timing chart, time spent in EFB, will never lie. Does that make sense, everyone? Teresa, this is not a self-pity question, but an honest and serious one. How can you manage when you can't buy food related to finances? That I don't think you're asking I think that's a reasonable question, but you're not really thinking this through. Let me ask y'all the following. Even if you're on food stamps, this program was built not for the rich, though we have rich people that do the program. It was built for people like you and I, everyday people. Can you afford pinto beans? I'm asking everybody. Does most people consider it a Shibboleth approved sandwich, Shibboleth approved pintos, Shibboleth approved? To me, this is going to sound ugly, and it is not meant for Teresa. I do not mean this for Teresa. Teresa, please understand, I have a lot of people listening that are thankful for your question. There are days I've been frustrated because I'm human, and I'm on excuse number 125 from somebody, and they say, I can't afford to do your program, which is not how you phrased it. And I go, well, then that's a blessing. Why do you have a problem? You're eating something, so now you can't afford anything. That's a blessing from God. Now you can't eat anything. The weight's going to come off, right? I know that sounds ugly, but that's a blessing if you really want to lose weight. How did you gain it? I'm not talking to Teresa. How did you gain all that weight, feller? How did you gain all that? You was eating something. Was people giving it to you, or was you buying it? And usually what I find is they're eating at fast food restaurants, and it amounted to they didn't want to eat healthy foods. But here's my point. I can have budget-friendly meals on Shibboleth and lose weight faster than someone who needs more variety. I can have a Shibboleth-approved sandwich like a turkey spam sandwich in an approved tortilla or with approved bread. I can have pinto beans. I can have Wendy's chili, Chick-fil-A nuggets. I can get Oscar Mayer turkey breast, eat it in a lettuce wrap. There's nothing I can't do. So what I would suggest is you may need help with a mentor to get creative, But write down the thing, forget Shibboleth. Just forget it. Forget Shibboleth. Write down the things that you're paying for now that you feel are within your budget. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? Go on and write down, forget Shibboleth for a minute. You're distracted with Shibboleth. The enemy is trying to get you to come up with reasons not to do this. So write down what you would normally eat without Shibboleth being in the equation. Forget about weight loss. Just write down what you would normally eat. Would you eat mac and cheese? If you're on a budget, would you eat hamburger helper or tuna helper? These are things that we can modify and make work on our program. What is your per meal budget? If you can spend $2 per meal, we got you covered. So write those things down, like Kraft mac and cheese. Okay, instead of that, we're going to have Advanced Health Systems mac and cheese. Instead of having your normal sandwich, we're going to have approved bread. But Travis, it costs more per loaf. Okay, it costs $1 more, but per serving, it's 3 pennies more or whatever it is. So we just got to look at this differently and think about this differently. It is less expensive to eat the way we eat. Now, I'm not saying you can go buy Shibboleth approved lobster. I'm not saying that. You may want to do that, but you can't. Your budget doesn't allow it. So we focus on what we can have and what is within our budget. And we have mentors that will help you work that out on paper so that you've got a strong grocery list that's within your budget. It's redirecting your thoughts. We have to control our thoughts. We have to talk ourselves into this and not talk ourselves out of it. Does that make sense, everybody? Many of us are on a budget. Y'all, 3 years ago, it got where Sasha and I could go and eat out 3 and 4 nights a week. Thanks to y'all. I mean, we were busy. We weren't trying to take advantage of y'all and how y'all were supporting us. But it got where we were so busy that we could go out 3 or 4 nights and share a dinner. Sasha and I go out and we share dinner. But we can't do it now. We're hardly ever going out. Maybe twice a month we might eat out because we're on a very restrictive budget. It's hit us too. I get it. But you know what we do? We have a crock pot and we have pintos. We have turkey spam. Sasha, it's not approved, but Vienna sausage, Sasha loves Vienna sausage. And she said, all right, guru, give me a perfect pairing with Vienna sausages. And I did. I gave her a perfect pairing so that she could have Vienna sausages. I can make anything work because I'm the man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But anyway, we're living within a budget too. So we get it. We understand it. But it's how we think about it. You know, how we think about it's going to direct our behavior, because how we think is no different than how we speak. And the Bible says whatever we're thinking, whatever we're speaking is going to direct our goings. So I want to talk myself, when I'm low on funds, it's hard to do. But from a diet standpoint, I'm like, bless the name of the Lord. This is going to force me to eat more disciplined because I don't have $200 to go spend on groceries this week. And if you notice, a lot of people have got their mind right about it. You know, they're saying it's less expensive to eat this way. We're here for you, Teresa. Let us know if you need that mentor appointment. I knew that was coming. I open mouth and insert foot. What works as a perfect pairing with Vienna sausages? First, get the light ones. Get Vienna sausage light. Here's what I have Sasha do to get the protein right and the fat down, overall fat down. Get Vienna sausage light and use a -2 or -3 bread. You can use an approved mayo. She likes mayo on hers. And then add you a package of Quest chips. That's high protein chips. And you can have a Vienna sausage with Quest chips. Maybe Joni can put that in the perfect pairing library for us. That would be an approved meal, not a snack. So light Viennas, less fat means less calories. Light Viennas, they taste the same. Approved mayo, a -2 or -3 bread, and a package of Quest high protein chips. That's an approved meal. It's called a perfect pairing. Sharon, very smart idea, making the hamburger soup and having enough to freeze 4 meals. Terrific idea. Got great comments here for the family. Read all those great comments. Carla, great stuff there. Good help from the family. Stephanie Gilbert needs the Happy Juice videos. Could somebody get Stephanie Gilbert the Happy Juice videos, the safety videos? So y'all got a freebie today. Sasha does me that way all the time. She says, all right, big boy, this ain't approved, but tell me how I can have it and it be approved. And we work it out. We can make anything work, almost anything. You're welcome, Sharon. Thank you. Kim, I don't know if it's the entire package without looking. I can't remember. It seems like it was 3/4 of the package, 2/3 of the package. I know it wasn't the entire can, but it was just enough to cover a slice of bread. Of course, sliced. One little Vienna sliced right down the middle. Yeah, not the entire can, and not the regular ones, the light ones. All right, y'all, we are just about out of time. Do we have any final questions? Everybody happy, all hearts and minds clear, motivated to get through this day? See, that's the thing. I go live every day. You don't have to worry about 2 months from now. You just have to worry about today. This is a biblical based program, depending on how you interpret the Bible. A lot of people tell me I'm going to hell. Y'all don't believe that, but they do. Anyway, yawn. I get so tired of it. This is a Bible. If you interpret the Bible, your summary is love and no judgment. That's the kind of Bible program we are. So, we're all here to help each other, support each other, love each other. We're not here, I'm not that kind of a host of the program to tell people that they ain't living right, stuff like that. Everybody's got to work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. But what we are here to do is remind you that God loves you. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to screw up. Just pick yourself up, get back going. This is a loving little family we have here. And hopefully if we got some mean folk here, they'll change by being around all of us loving folks, and they'll become loving too, because they just hurting. They just hurting. Right, Patricia? Hurt. Some people's just hurting. I hear people all the time cursing, carrying on, and people say, well, they just don't know the Lord. I can't say that. Just a little nugget before we go. I can't say that. I know people that they say, I love the Lord all day long, and they might not even know the Lord. Then I know people that they just cursing coming out of their mouth. And for all you know, they love the Lord, but they hurting. They hurting inside. You just can't judge a book by its cover, y'all. Hurting people hurt people. That's right. So let's all be sweet. Let's be sweet and kind-hearted to one another. How do I count an approved peanut butter sandwich? It's just an approved meal. Or if you're using approved bread, you can write down, you could just put peanut butter sandwich approved ingredients in your journal, or you could put 6 + 2. Peanut butter is a category 6 superfood. And then if you're choosing the right bread, it's a category 2 bread, 6 plus 2. That controls insulin. I sure do love y'all. Want to thank Tammy. Y'all, Tammy's volunteering. Tammy is not getting paid. We had to make cuts, and we talked about this last week. Tammy's such a trooper. She said, I still want to help. And she's here. Don't know how long we can keep her. If it's on anybody's heart and you would like to donate to Tammy so that Tammy can keep helping. She did not ask me to do this. I was led to do this earlier in the session. Email me, travisjack777@gmail.com, travisjack777@gmail.com, and I'll send you a form. And if you want a tip, if you can see on my thing here, we a cheap program. We ain't cheap because the program's cheap. I hope y'all understand that. We're not cheap because the program's cheap. It's cost me so much, y'all. I promise you from the bottom of my heart. And I think about quitting all the time, and the Lord won't let me. We take tips like a waiter or waitress. So if Tammy served you well and you would like to specifically help Tammy, send me an email, travisjack777@gmail.com. It might not be me that replies, but one of my assistants will reply back with a form where you can donate $5, $10, whatever you want to donate. I'm sure it will help her family. Yeah, Jitterbug, that'll work. If you want to send me a Cash App and a note, then what I'll do is take that money that you send me, forward it to Sasha so that Sasha can write Tammy the check. Yeah, just let me know, because otherwise I think it's for me. I think it's for me. I'll spend it on my stuff. Yeah. Ain't none of us doing too good around here at Shibboleth, but we don't do it for money. We do it for help. But I'm an honest person, so if you tell me you want somebody specifically to get it, I'll give it to them instead of me. But if you don't tell me specifically, I'm keeping it. That's right. I ain't too proud to beg. I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg, plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, cause you both means that much to me. Ain't too proud to beg. Yes, we know it. Yeah, whatever it takes. I told the Lord, I ain't too proud to beg, Lord. If you want me to beg, I'll beg. But one of these days, I know the Lord's going to end my begging. He's took all the pride out of me that I got. I'm telling you that. Well, not quite. He's been good to me. He's been good to me. Is Happy Juice approved on line days? Yes. You can add that to tier 2. But if you're doing line and shark days as a food elimination protocol, you shouldn't do it. You should only do tier 1 if you're trying to go through a process of eliminating foods that are causing you a problem. Does that make sense? April, does that make sense what I said, how I said it? If you're doing line and shark days so you can occasionally incorporate some real cheese or real bacon, then Happy Juice is fine. In fact, Charles and I are having lion and shark days all week. We appreciate you, Jitterbug. You've always been good to contribute, and we're very fortunate to have my friend Jessica as Jitterbug in this program. I miss being in the meeting house with her. Those of you that go to the little country churches, it sure is special when you have, y'all know what I'm talking about, you have them brothers and sisters that stand up occasionally, and they so full of the Holy Ghost, they get the whole church to shouting. That's Jitterbug, Miss Jitterbug. I ain't been able to find no church like that in Florida. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everybody. I'll make sure it gets to the right place. On payday, Tammy. All right, y'all. If all hearts and minds are clear, I'll see you in the next class. God bless y'all. Have a good one. Good job, Laura News. Good job. That's good news. Bye, everyone.